Hello and welcome everybody to this brief market update by XTB. My name is Walid Koudmani, Chief Market Analyst. And in this brief video, we're going to be covering the situation on the DE30 DAX index, the German index. Quite an interesting start to the week. Of course, as I mentioned in another video on the US 100, this week is very much centered on the big mega cap earnings. But at the same time, we have a lot of things happening in Europe as well, with some data to keep an eye on. Of course, today we had the German IFO data on Monday, and that was interesting. However, as you can see here, we had a slight reaction, but still testing those highs, those potential resistance areas, and that moving average. So these are actually lines we traced back in the last video we did on the DAX. And so we can see that, roughly speaking, we're still hovering in that lateral range, testing that upper range around 16,000 points, which was essentially the highest point in about 15 months. So still managing to actually hold as we speak. Downward candle, this is a 4-hour, but then again, just equaling out or equalizing the movement from earlier in the day. At the same time, the general trend, at least in the short term, seems to be quite upwards. We're not on the RSI, we're not really oversold or overbought, so somewhere in the middle, about 70 to 30 is the range generally indicated, so we're about 50 at the moment. Quite interesting to see that we've actually managed to continue that. Now, central banks remain a key focus as well for the markets, as well as the earnings season, as investors really are going to be seeing how both companies and the government and the central banks are really reacting to the economic situation. We've seen some inflation data that is quite troubling, so especially from the US and even, of course, in Europe as they deal with the conflict. Germany announced some energy measures as well. So it will be very interesting to see what happens down the line. But from a technical point of view, as I said, important to see how this test of the upper level resistance holds. If it does, if it's broken through. If not, we can even keep an eye out for potential supports around 15,800, or this is on the 4-hour chart. So of course, on a shorter term, about 15,900 would be quite reasonable as well to keep an eye on. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was useful. Just a brief outlook. Thank you very much and good luck with your trading.